everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is Madden 17 on EA Sports. We've got one of the better defenses in the NFL in action today. The Titans are top 10 in defensive yards allowed, and they're going up against the Dolphins offense that will have a lot to deal with. With that, we'll send it over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis. They've got the call in this Week 5 matchup.
We welcome all of you to Nissan Stadium on the banks of the Cumberland River in downtown Nashville, Tennessee. Today, we've got a good Week 5 matchup in store here between the Miami Dolphins and the Tennessee Titans. And the kickoff sails out of bounds, and that's going to be a penalty.
You can see the looks on the faces of the rest of the team. You have one job to do. Just kick the ball and play.
Well, that's exactly right, Charles. The kicker, this is just inexcusable.
Absolutely inexcusable. Everyone out there slugging it out for the entire game. Execute your job.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2.
First play of the drive. Let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking. But the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
And some options here for the offense on 2nd and 2.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Throwing left side, it's complete. 15 yards through the air and a first down. And a nice pitch and catch to pick up the reception against man coverage.
Both of them read how much yardage they needed, figured what they had to do, and were able to beat the man coverage for the completion.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he is out of bounds, looks like right at the 15. We'll give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag. Because when you do, you just put the ball on it and then let him run.
He's got some space. Back to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. And here's a look at the starting offense. The play fake. He'll look to throw. Did he get the feed down? Yes. Touchdown. Their dangerous wide receiver. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Dolphins are going to take a first quarter lead. Oh, such great concentration there, going right up against the side of the end zone, but able to get the feet in bounds.
There are so many things that go into that catch, and you just mentioned the concentration, being able to catch the football, get your feet down in bounds, hang on to it all the way through the process of the catch. That was a phenomenal play.
This one taken from the 7. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he's going to get about 7 yards on that one, up to around the 33.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. And to give this time to the tailback. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
All right, it's football 101 to know that the quarterback controls just about everything on offense, but a lot of times what gets missed is that the center controls line play. He has to communicate to the guards and the tackles what type of front they're facing, how they're going to block it, and what adjustments need to be made sometimes on the fly as a defense will shift. Give the center a lot of credit because for the most part, he's got big defensive linemen over his face all game long that he's got to try and block and protect his quarterback and create space for his runner. In this case, he did a really nice job of communicating and executing.
Let's see what the offense comes with here. 2nd and 8. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
3rd and 11, 5 in the secondary now.
Nickel look. On 3rd down, Mariota. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
A 1st down throw for Mariota. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
I think that's a big-time play there because the slant route is really hard to cover because the timing is so quick. But able to see it, diagnose it, and get to the football, that's why he was able to bat it away.
2nd down here after the incomplete pass. Throwing again, Mariota on 2nd and 10. And oh, look at that, a diving catch. A very solid gain of 27. With the former Volunteer Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Titans with the football here to begin quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a 1st down. Well, they've been practicing goal line offense all week. Let's see if they're able to capitalize here. They'll throw again. Mariota. And it's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tennessee. Their dangerous wide receiver. His 19th touchdown now on the season. And the Titans are just an extra point away from moving out in front. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And the Dolphins offense now ready to go back out on the field. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And Charles, a couple extra defensive backs in here on 3rd and 1.
Not expecting them to run it at all. But I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken.
There he goes left side. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A big play there. His 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Dolphins have taken the lead. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the 2nd quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
The kicking team out for Miami as they will send this one away. This is taken at the 3. return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll bring this one inside the 35. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. A nice pickup there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
It's really come into vogue to talk about the different gaps that the defense tries to attack in an offensive line. And most of the time we're talking about blitzes. How many times have you heard double A-gap blitz? Well, where is the A-gap? It's the space between the center and the guards, either side. So when you're having a double A-gap blitz, that's two guys coming through that gap. In this situation, though, that A-gap wasn't open for the defense to exploit. The offensive line took care of it, protected it, and moved the defensive guys out of the way to allow for that nice run.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Now that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
58, boys, 58, Mike.
They'll try to throw now. Mariota got a man, and it's taken in for a Titans touchdown. Their dangerous wide receiver with touchdown number 20 on the year. And the Titans are an extra point away from tying this thing up. And we've got a good one brewing. We're all knotted up at 14. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This is taken at the 3. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line.
Let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they're able to bring him down at the 20. A gain of 4 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Surveying the field. And that one was nearly picked. Not sure he was accounting for the free safety. That brings up 3rd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. Back to throw here. And he comes back with one complete. It goes as a gain of 9, and it moves the chains.
All right, let's just go ahead and walk through this one pretty easily, right? Blast off the line of scrimmage, get downfield to a certain point, usually around 8 to 10 yards, turn around and make sure the quarterback sees your numbers and set yourself up for the pass.
A well-executed curl route by Charles Davis. Quick hitter here, it's complete. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. 1 receiver left, 2 to the right. Back to throw again. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up, because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity. A nickel set shown by the Titans on 3rd down.
They can pass. Now back to throw. He's going to try and go deep again. And this is caught at the 20. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So they're operating in the red zone. They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost. And the Dolphins have come back now to regain the lead. So they get the field goal here at the end of the second quarter and take the lead into the lockers.
And isn't that what every team wants to do? Right at the end of the half, put points on the board and go into the locker room feeling a lot better about themselves.
Fair catch called for and taken just inside the 10-yard line. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And you got to think, if this is anything other than just taking a knee, I'd be very surprised.
Yeah, they've got enough to talk about at the half. Why do anything else? Just get out of there.
And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So we've hit halftime, just a field goal separating these 2 teams at the break. As we send you down to our EA Sports Studios in Orlando, where we find our man Larry Ridley with our halftime report. This is fielded at the goal line. Oh, he's got some breathing room. Touchdown, Titans. Their dangerous wide receiver. Touchdown number 22 on the season. And the Titans are going to retake the lead.
We've sat in a lot of meetings, and they always talk about the offense taking advantage of beginning a half. But special teams coaches don't listen to that. They want to take advantage with their own unit, and they just did.
Yeah, they trailed in the locker rooms, and they changed that immediately.
I think they drew that one up special. That felt like something he pulled out of his pocket that he'd been holding for a while, and they were able to use it effectively.
Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
I know we just saw a nice throwing catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
Oh, he's got him in wide open, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Yeah, quick throw here, that's complete. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
So the offense looking at a 2nd and 8. They'll come out in the pistol. Again, he'll drop to throw. Wide open receiver complete. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. And here comes play number 6 on this drive.
One of the selling points of the in route is it gives the quarterback a really nice sight line to his receiver and almost on a direct shot able to throw the ball into the middle of the field and have a great chance of success as they did on that play.
And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up 1st and goal.
Really good, solid run right there, and they did it from a 4 wide receiver set. And if you're an offensive coordinator, they used to tell people, hey, we're going to throw the football. Now they use 4 receivers on the field to spread things out, give them more running lanes and more options, and also it usually takes the bigger defenders off the field, makes the defense lighter and easier to run against.
Unable to connect on the first down pass play. Now it's 2nd down. Back to throw. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. And that one really pushes him back. A loss of 9. And now it's 3rd and goal after the sack. So the sack means it's 3rd and goal now from the 10. Again, we'll see the pistol here.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. He's got time in the pocket. And this is going to be incomplete. So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. And his kick here is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. A decent drive there to start the 3rd quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they do inch a bit closer.
Yeah, still lots of time to go in this one. Take the points, move on, and let your defense try to get the ball back.
This is taken at his 4. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Here's the Titan offense now as they make their way back onto the field. On 1st and 10, here's Mariota. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
So many offenses want to include their running backs into their passing offense and be able to swing the ball out or check it down to them. But sometimes those guys are just not as comfortable catching the ball as they are running it.
On play action, Mariota. Blitz coming, and down he goes. They dial up the corner blitz that time, and it delivers to the tune of a 9-yard loss.
The game plan for any defense is finding ways to make a quarterback uncomfortable in the pocket. When you bring pressure from all angles, you never know who's going to get home. In this case, the left cornerback, right in the face of him, puts him down.
And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down.
But no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
This is fielded at the 27. 6-yard return after a punt of 48. And it'll be Dolphin football. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point.
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
toe
that.
bashed it.
Super toe.
Hurry up, here we go. Please.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A big play there. His 3rd touchdown of the game, number 11 on the year. And the Dolphins are once again going to retake the lead. So they're going to go for 2. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively.
Here we go now. Blue line.
They'll try and throw for it. And this will be caught as they convert here for 2. And the formula there on the 2-point try to go 5 wide. Not even the option to hand the ball off. They got it.
They tried to create space, and there isn't a whole lot of it there. For the defense, what you're trying to do is make sure that if they're going to catch the ball, make them catch it behind you because they run out of space with the back line. But in this case, the offense figured it out.
This is taken at his 4. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
1st down, Mariota. He's going to wind up and air it out. And that's caught at the 25. It's a big play on 3rd down for the Titans. 43 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
Back now here on EA Sports. It's Titan football here as they trail to begin the 4th quarter. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. Mariota on 1st down. And he will find his man on the outside. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
Second down, Mariota. But when this ball's tipped and intercepted, a great read, and it's picked off.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Another pistol look here.
Green 39! Green 39!
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. And in this situation with a lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
7 yards on the carry, make it 3rd and 4 coming up. And defensively going with a dime set, 6 DBs on 3rd and 4. And they're going to speed things up here. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. It's taken to the 26. Very good return that time. 18 yards. And the offense will come back onto the field with a 1st and 10. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we've got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it?
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. 1st level defensive line, 2nd level linebackers, 3rd level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a 1st level run, and it was stopped by a 2nd level player.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Now a 2nd down throw for Mariota. He's going to look deep. This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Titans. Their dangerous wide receiver with touchdown number 23 here on the year. And the Titans are an extra point away from tying this thing up. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this 4th quarter. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this.
Here we go.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good 1st down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on 1st down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
And they're on 3rd and short. They just tried to spread the field. It worked.
And I think that the spreading of the field, the extra receivers, has really become the next in the evolutionary chain in the NFL. Go all the way back in that situation, you're handing it to the fullback, right? As we evolve, maybe you pitched it to your tailback. Now you spread the field, and you have your choices of where to throw it and complete it for a 1st down.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran across. And the Titans going to signal for a timeout defensively. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Finding time. Going to throw right side here. Complete. Now another timeout here called by the Titans. That'll leave him with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection. That is caught at the 7.
And they do get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. And it is good! He splits the uprights on the chip shot. And it'll be a good time in South Beach tonight. The Dolphins have won the game. This is one of those games where you hate that anybody has to lose. So many points, so many great offensive outputs individually and collectively, but somebody had to go down.
And even the losing team had fun, although they won't admit it to us here in the media. But they had a blast because that kind of football, back and forth, touchdown after touchdown, it's fun for everyone. But the winning team, they had a little bit more fun than everyone else.
So for the Dolphins, they boost their record up to a strong 4-1. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for Tennessee, the loss will move them back to 3-2 on the year. And they'll have a chance at redemption next week at home against the Indianapolis Colts. So that's a wrap. For Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. So long, everybody.